And we're live, folks. Back with a new live. I'm gonna wait for the people to get up in here. Y'all see the titles. Excuse me. And I'm gonna wait until at least one person shows up to the party. Yeah, it's kind of routine. If I go on live, it's usually at 8 o'clock. So, yeah. Before I go in, this is a proposal just for the simple fact of, Black Lives Matter and not its failures, but its failures to highlight more issues than police brutality. So, what I'm saying is, I don't even have to start this. I'm proposing a movement or an organization that will protest multiple issues within the black community. Well, not within, but that had injustices that happen amongst black people, against black people. And, some of the stuff on here black people do too. So, with that being said, I forgot to put one thing on here, which was black women dying in the hospitals, because I did a lot of research on so many different things. But yeah, I'm gonna get started. So, since the people are here, this is a movement proposal. Now we're going to the slide 2. What black people should protest. These are just a quick example of ideas: police brutality, human trafficking, organ harvesting, the COVID-19 vaccines, businesses profiting off of prison labor, record labels, entertainment, or the entertainment industry. If police brutality, getting killed by the police is a leading cause of young black men in America. This is from Los Angeles Times. About 1 in 1,000 black men and boys in America can expect to die at the hands of police, according to a new analysis of deaths involving law enforcement officers that makes them 2.5 times more likely than white men and boys to die during an encounter with cops. The analysis also showed that Latino men and boys, black women and girls, and Native American men, women, and children also killed by the police at higher rates than white peers. But the vulnerability of black males was particularly striking. That in 1 in 1,000 number struck up as quite high, said study leader Frank Edwards, a sociologist at Rutgers University, that's better odds of being killed by the police than winning a lot of scratch-off lottery games. So, with that being said, police brutality is a leading cause. I think it's the 6th leading cause amongst the deaf and black men. So this is a problem that that should be protested in all sorts of things. Now we're gonna go to another slide about it. Breonna Taylor's murderers are still not arrested. The murderers of Breonna Taylor are still not arrested. If you don't know who Breonna Taylor is, I don't know what rock you've been under. But this is recent news showing that the officers that killed her are still not arrested. Ex-Dolphin receiver Kenny Stills released after being arrested during Breonna Taylor protest. Former Miami Dolphins receiver Kenny Stills was among 87 protesters arrested outside of Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron's home Tuesday night as they advocated for the arrest of police officers involved in the shooting death of Breonna Taylor in March. It's been 4 months, at least 4 months, since she's been murdered, and no officer has been arrested. Now, according to the Louisville Courier Journal, Stills has been charged with intimidating a participant in legal process, which is a felony, criminal trespass, and disorderly conduct. The charges matched those of the other 86 arrested during the protest, encouraging Cameron to arrest the officers identified as John Mattingly, Brett Hankinson, and Miles Cosgrove, involved in Taylor's death. Stills and other protesters, which included Real Housewives of Atlanta reality star Portia Williams and rappers YB and Cordae and Trey the Truth, were released from police custody shortly after noon on Wednesday. You know why we're out here. Basically, this is not a photo. What? anybody talking about. But this is basically what they're talking about. They're out there trying to get those officers arrested. There's petitions going out. Yes, Black Lives Matter is already protesting police brutality. But this is just one thing we can protest as black people. Now I'm going to go to the other things that we can protest. Or should protest. Missing black women. Nearly 75,000. This is from a black website. blackamerica.web. There's nearly 75,000 black girls and women are missing across the country. Mind you, this is from 2017. I don't think the date shows here on this slide, but this is from 2017. Who knows how large that number has become? And here's a video. These are all missing women. These are all the missing women. Well, not all of them, but a few of the missing women that are missing to this day. 75,000. 75,000 black women are missing. 75,000 plus black women are missing right now. And that's ridiculous. Where are the protests at? Where's Black Lives Matter at during these particular issues? They are not nowhere to be seen. I'm not even going to go into the media propaganda and all that other stuff for right now because, this. Oh, I should have made my disclaimer. I'm going to make this disclaimer. I should have put it in the title. There is graphic images in this. There is graphic images in this presentation or this proposal. And, you can click off if you want, if you don't want to see it. Because this stuff made me mad. As, it's just, Now, missing black children. Missing black children. Black kids go missing at a higher rate than white kids. Here's why we don't hear about them. This is from CNN. The chilling story of Jamie Claus, the 13-year-old Wisconsin girl who was kidnapped after parents were killed last year, was national news. But people might be less familiar with the story of Ariana Fitz, a 2-year-old who went missing in 2016 before her mother was found brutally murdered in San Francisco Bay Area. Each of these cases is compelling, but two didn't receive the same amount of media attention. Some experts believe because Claus is white and Fitz is black. In fact, data shows that missing white children receive far more media coverage than missing black and brown children, despite higher rates of missing children among communities of color. So, the FBI's National Crime Information Center database lists over 400,000 missing children under 18 in 2018. The most recent year, which data is available, about 37% of these children are black, even though black children only make up 14% of all children in the United States. 37% of missing children are black, and black children make up 14% of the population. So black children, children of color, are going missing at a higher rate than white children. There's a lot of white children that go missing too, but these are things that we could be protesting as well. Missing black children is hundreds of thousands of black children that go missing each year, and it's for reasons. But you see no media coverage. You see nobody bringing awareness to this stuff. We can create a organization, a movement, or a foundation that will highlight these issues and bring it to the forefront, where it has no choice to be media coverage. I don't have to start this stuff myself, but if anybody listening or anybody that will listen later on, you can take this as a chance to make something happen about this. Now we're gonna get the human trafficking. Wrong slide. But human trafficking, this is from the Voice of Black Cincinnati. African American human traffic numbers among the highest in the country. African American human trafficking numbers will astound to 60% of human trafficking suspects are African Americans. 52% of all juvenile prostitution arrests are African Americans. 40% of all human trafficking are African Americans. Human trafficking victims are typically poor and have a history of exploitation, substance or sexual abuse, learning disabilities, and inadequate support systems. Some argue that the demand of African Americans for sexual exploitation is higher than that of other races, and the penalties associated with trafficking African Americans are less severe. Ohio. This is from Ohio. So this probably isn't like really national level, reports, but Ohio is a C grade on National Human Trafficking Report Card. This is ridiculous. 62% of human trafficking suspects are African American. I guess because they're the only ones that actually get caught. Who knows? But, 52% of juvenile prostitution arrests are African Americans. And 40% of victims of human trafficking are African Americans, aka black people. Now, this is from another article. This is from Hello Beautiful. More than 40% of sex trafficking victims are black, according to the annual Black Women's Roundtable report. The Black Women's Roundtable report released its 4th annual report today, detailing a perspective lens for African American women and the issues that affect them most. More than 40% of sex trafficking victims are black. According to the Justice Department, over 40% of sex trafficking victims are black, outnumbering white, which is 25.6%, Hispanic, which is 23.9%, Asian, which is 4.3%, and other, which is 5.8% victims. 40% versus all these percentages. I know this is quite a lot of percentages as well, but black people go at a higher rate. Little less than 15% than white people. Basically 16% more than Hispanics. 36% more than Asians, and about 34% more than other, which could be mixed, Native American, Middle Eastern, whatever their demographic may be. Now, organ harvesting. This is from Affinity Magazine. The illegal harvesting of black men's organ is going unnoticed. The illegal harvesting of black men's organs is going unnoticed. Currently, over 100,000 people need an organ transplant, and about 22 per day will be waiting for an organ transplant. I'm not going to read all this. But here's the victims are the 4 black men that had made prominent, news stories. Jason Smith, he was a 14-year-old, was found in a lake June 6, 2011. His death was ruled drowning by accident by coroners reported EROS. Louisiana, despite his or all his vital organs missing from his body. I'm not going to read the full report. Vance Anderson, 51-year-old painter. Vance Anderson died from lung condition in 2012. Was sent to a funeral home missing his eyes, brain, and heart and pancreas. He died from a lung condition. What does his eyes, his brain, his heart, and his pancreas have to do with anything? Why were they missing? Now, going on to the next slide, Kendrick Johnson. This is a very famous story. He's the young man that was rolled up in a wrestling mat with all his organs gone. Ryan Singleton, married gay model Ryan Singleton, was on a trip to Atlanta from Atlanta to Los Angeles when his car broke down on July 9th, 2013. In a California Valley report, Singleton was nowhere to be found once the friend that he called for help arrives. He was missing his eyes, his hearts, his lungs, and his liver. They were all gone. Now, this is, from the article as well. It seems that their air supply to conversation about these men's death is being cut off because someone does not want the general public to be aware of this phenomenon. Obviously, they don't. The motives behind these deaths have yet to be discovered, but can be presumed to be direct target of African American men for their internal organs, as well as in some cases a connection to ongoing plague of human trafficking. And I can add this to I can add this instance to, what was her name? The girl that died in Chicago. I can't think of her name right now. But when she died in that hotel, they wanted to traffic her organs too. Did they? I don't know if they did or not. But they wanted to traffic her organs as well. They're trafficking or harvesting organs from black people because our organs contain melanin as well, which I'm about to go into. They're selling melanin as well. And I got the proof of that. But yeah, onto this. This is where it gets graphic. This is Egypt. These are the people in Egypt that got harvested. You know, they were found, all their bodies, their body parts and stuff were harvested. Their organs are gone. You know, this is for Jason Smith. You know, what happened to 14-year-old Jason Smith in Eros. Oh, that's her name? Thank you. June 6, 2011. Did he drown or was he murdered and his organs were stolen? He had been murdered. They either murdered him, took his organs out, and then threw him in the lake. Ain't no way his organs just disappeared. Organ harvesting, part 4. This is from, dang, I really forgot. Kevin Martin Johnson? I forgot his name already. You know, teen mystery murders is a news report. And then black children. Black children are being adopted to be killed for their organs as well. There are over 70,000 black women missing and well over 100,000 black children missing. American couple found guilty of harvesting organs from their Ghanaian daughter. This is sick. Now, melanin is being sold. According to True Dreads, melanin is currently worth $460 per gram, worth 8 times more than gold. VRW International, an American company involved in the distribution of research laboratory products to over 30 countries in the world, currently has melanin listed as $460 per gram. That is more than the current price of gold. Gold is like sold at $50 per gram. VWR, a subsidiary of Avantar, is a trusted global partner to customers and suppliers in the life sciences and advanced technologies and applied materials industries. They offer an extensive portfolio of mission-critical products, services, solutions to laboratory and production consumers in the pharmaceutical, biotechnology, industrial, education, government, and healthcare industries. One of these products is melanin for $460.53 per gram. This is the website itself. Melanin is a natural substance that gives color pigment to hair, skin, and iris of the eyes. It is produced by cells in skin called melanocytes. My bad. Melanin is it's hard to read. It's a small font. Melanin helps protect the skin from the sun. Melanin is extremely stable molecule and highly resistant to digestion by most acids and bases. Melanin is prepared in an inhibitor in real-time PCR analysis prepared by persulfate oxidation of tyrosine soluble dilute. This is just a breakdown of melanin. But here you go. This is the prices for melanin. 100 milligrams of melanin is $84.53. A gram of melanin is $460.53. 250 milligrams of melanin is $140.78, and 5 grams of melanin is over $1,000, over $1,600. This is the place that's selling them. You can go to this article to find out what I'm talking about. You can go to truedreads.com. This is the article that they were saying, and this is the website where they sell melanin at. So, black people are not only going missing or getting kidnapped, being trafficked, are victims of sex trafficking or human trafficking. Not only are their organs being taken out of their bodies, but the melanin from the organs and from the skin are being sold for profit because it's so valuable. I was about to say, I talked about melanin earlier today. Melanin is cosmic melanin. Neuromelanin is cosmic melanin, and it's so valuable because it connects people to the universe. This is why they want our organs. They want our melanin to be sold at high rates, and they're selling it at high rates for a reason, because neuromelanin is so valuable. This is why all these black people go missing. This is why black people get organ harvested. Like, why are they taking our organs? Because our organs have melanin in them. and they're selling the organs and the melanin from the organs or from our skin to sell on the black market. Now, this is why we should be protesting the vaccine. African nationals mistreated, evicted in China over coronavirus. I broke this down before. They basically kicked black people out and blamed them for the coronavirus in China. I don't need to go over that again. Black people being targeted. They say black people have the highest rate of getting COVID-19, but that's a lie. I can break that down too, but I don't feel like it right now. But that's a lie. What else? Or they're injecting black people at a higher rate. Melinda Gates. Remember Bill Gates? I done talked about Bill Gates so many times. It's ridiculous. I don't really care to bring him up no more. Melinda Gates, black people, indigenous people should get coronavirus vaccine first. I wonder why. Bill Gates' wife Melinda said last week during a virtual Forbes philanthropy summit with her husband that black people and indigenous people should receive the coronavirus vaccine first if they are in the healthcare field. One of the reasons they're saying is highest bidding on black people because we're more likely to have underlying diseases, blah, 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 yada, yada. But this is the real thing why I say we should protest, the vaccines. If you don't know what this is the Tuskegee Experiment. And they're calling for black people to get a vaccine just so they can do this.
In July of 1972, the Washington Star newspaper broke the story about the controversial Tuskegee Institute syphilis experiment. For 40 years, from 1932 until 1972, the U.S. Public Health Service, in partnership with Tuskegee, secretly studied the effects of untreated syphilis in African American men in Alabama. 600 black men, 399 with syphilis and 201 without the disease, were induced to participate in the experiment. Nearly all of them were poorly educated, impoverished sharecroppers. In exchange for participating, they were promised free medical exams, hot meals, and a burial stipend. The men with syphilis were not told they were infected and were not treated, even after penicillin was discovered to be an effective cure for the disease in the 1940s. Over the course of the experiment, 128 participants died of syphilis or syphilis-related complications. In 1972, when the paper exposed the details, the experiment was still ongoing. It incited public outrage over the unethical treatment of the participants, which led to the experiment's termination that November. The following year, the NAACP filed suit on behalf of the survivors. The federal government settled the lawsuit for $10 million. It also agreed to provide survivors and their infected family members with free medical services.
For the black people out there, go get that vaccine if y'all want, and they're coming for black people first. And y'all will say I'm crazy or whatever when I say it's for the population purposes. They've done it before. They don't care to do it again. If they've done it before, they really don't care to do it again. What's that saying? If you don't know your history, it's doomed to repeat itself. If you don't know about this Tuskegee experiment, and then you're hearing about COVID-19 or all this fear mongering that the media has done with COVID-19, and you don't know about the Tuskegee experiment, and you believe that black people should get it first for whatever reason. They're saying black people should get the vaccine first for whatever reason they want. They're trying to kill you off for a reason. But it's always for a reason. I'm not going to get into that reason, but it's for a reason. They want to kill you off. They're pushing for you to get something that they don't necessarily have a vaccine or cure for, I guess. And they want black people to be experiment dummies like they always do. And you know what's crazy? In that video, they said in the 1940s, they had a cure. They had penicillin, which is a cure for syphilis. But they still went on and did the experiments 30 years later. Who says that they don't have a cure for this magical disease of COVID-19? They might already have a cure, whatever. I'm gonna leave my speculation out of this, or my theory on it out of this. If they do have a cure for COVID-19, why would they force a vaccine on the people, and it specifically target black people, not only black people, but indigenous people? I wonder why. But on to the next slide. This is businesses you can protest, businesses that are profiting off of prison labor. Before I go into that, the 13th Amendment states that the prison industry is modern day slavery. And then they have people working in prison and doing prison labor, and they're getting paid off of that. And there's companies paying and supporting and profiting off of prison labor. And these are all the companies. This is from boycott.com. This is from boycott.com. Boycott companies that use prison labor. Abbott, AT&T, AutoZone. Dang, I can't see this company right now. Bank of America, Bayer, Berkshire Hathaway, Cargill, Caterpillar, Chevron, Costco's, Deere and Company, Golden Gate Capital, Eli Lilly and Company, ExxonMobil, GlaxoSmithKline PLC, Glaxo Wellcome Inc., Hoffman La Roche, International Paper Company, VF Corporation, Johnson & Johnson, Sears Holding Corporation, Co Industries, Mary Kay, McDonald's. I know a lot of y'all still eat McDonald's and shit. Whatever. Sheesh. Hold on. Golly, all these notifications. Merck & Co., Microsoft, Motorola, Pfizer? I don't know what that company is. P&G, Procter & Gamble Company, PepsiCo, ConAgra Foods, Hillshire Brands, True Unilever Group, Royal Dutch Shell, Wireless Solutions Incorporated, Starbucks, State Farm, United. United. This gotta be the last part. And UPS, Verizon. I know it's gonna hurt a lot of y'all. UPS, Verizon, Walmart. We already know about Walmart's fuckery. Wendy's and Nintendo. This impacted me the most because I'm not gonna lie, I love Pokemon and I like Nintendo, but this is ridiculous. Now, I think this is the last slide. Oh, rap music. You can in entertainment and music are used to dumb down youth, and they use it as a dumbing down tactic through the mass media. This is a whole article. This is from globalresearch.com, so you can do the research yourself. And I'm gonna end on this video, in this presentation on this video, how they dumb down rap music.
Back in the day, meaningful content was the norm.
I'm going to say something happened to the music, and I'm going to say the most important thing that happened to music is that money started being made.
It's for sure rappers are changing their lyrics. For sure. Like, not even a question.
I feel like hip-hop started extra positive, and now it's like completely negative.
When 2 Chainz was Titty Boy, he was a lyricist.
That really sound like toxic nursery rhymes. My girl had a big booty, so I call her Big Booty. What the hell is that?
Somebody's looking for that. Those are the hands.
Yeah, I'm not going to play the whole video. But yeah, for those who have missed it, for those who missed the whole presentation, I'm going to show everything. This is what you missed right now. So, what black people should protest. These are different things that black people can protest. Police brutality, human trafficking, organ harvesting, the COVID-19 vaccines, businesses profiting off of prison labor, record labels, and entertainment. These are just a few things that I came up with on my own. I know we can add, you know, black women being killed off in hospitals, all of that. You know, this is just a proposal. This is not my idea. Well, I came up with the idea. But if anybody wants to take this idea, you can be discreet about it, which you always should be, because, you know, they're watching everybody. At the end of the day, they're watching everybody. And you can take these ideas and make a movement out of it, or organization out of it, because it's going to take everyday people to bring light to these different types of injustices and tragedies for it to get the attention that it needs to get. It's going to take everyday people. We can't rely on Black Lives Matter. We can't rely on, you know, these political parties. It's going to have to take everyday people, you know, to get this popping. And we're not going to need to rely on celebrities neither, because they're not here to do nothing much. And the ones that do stuff, they either get canceled, they're either getting dragged through the media, all sorts of things. So it's going to take a lot. And yeah, this is just my idea. I have more ideas that I come up with. So yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. These are all the things that black people can protest. I'm going to show it again before I get up off here. Black people should protest police brutality, human trafficking, organ harvesting, COVID-19, businesses profiting off of prison labor, record labels, entertainment. You can even protest the prison system if you want to. And I'm a skim through this police, you know, these black men, you know, getting killed by the police. No problem. Yeah, of course. Getting killed by the police is a leading cause of young black men. Brianna's murderers are still not arrested. Kenny Stills, a wide receiver, along with YB and Corday, and Toya from the Real Housewives of Atlanta, she was arrested at the protest. You know, missing black women. There's over 75,000 missing black women across the country who have gone missing. You know, missing black children. Human trafficking. These are the stats for human trafficking. 62% of human traffickers suspects are African American. 52% of juvenile prostitution arrests are African American, and 40% of all human trafficking victims are African American. Right here, these are the stats compared to white people. Over 40% for black people. Black people getting sex trafficked. White 25.6% for white people. 23.9% for Hispanics, 4.3% for Asians, and 5.8% for other races. You know, organ harvesting, these are all the black men that have had their organs removed. Jason Smith, well, 4, not all, 4. Jason Smith, Vance Anderson, Kendrick Johnson, Ryan Singleton. These are photos of organ harvested men and women and children from Egypt. They're doing that to the black people in Egypt. This is a picture of Jason Smith. I know this is pretty graphic. This is Kendrick Johnson. This is a couple that adopted and stole and took out the organs of their daughter from Ghana. Melanin is being sold for $460 per gram. And this is the website that is selling melanin, which is 8 times higher than gold per gram. Black people being blamed for COVID-19. You know, when China kicked them all out. Black people being targeted over COVID-19. Melinda Gates saying black people and indigenous people should get the vaccine first. This is a video of the Tuskegee Experiment. These are businesses profiting off of prison labor. I already went through the list. And how the music industry and entertainment industry is dumbing down black youth. So yeah, these are all the things that black people can protest. I hope you guys learned something. I love you guys. I'm out. Peace. And yeah, if you can, share this video, because it helps a lot. Thank you. I'm out.